Welcome to the Deep Dives.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're looking at something pretty specific, but really vital for anyone dealing with Philippine government contracts.
That's right. We're talking about submitting procurement bonds under the new Philippine Procurement Law.
Yeah, getting this right is crucial. Think of this deep dive as, well, your guide to understanding this key step.
Our source for today is excerpts from Philippine Procurement Bond Submission Requirements.
And your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to really grasp when these bonds are due.
Because getting the timing wrong, it can lead to some pretty serious headaches. We want to help you avoid that.
Okay, let's jump in. The timeline. When exactly does this bond need to be submitted?
Right. So the source is clear. It's after you get that notice to award, the NOA.
The golden ticket. Okay, so you've won the bid. Now what?
Exactly. The NOA means you've won. Then you submit the bond. It's like proof you can follow through.
Okay.
And this has to happen before the actual contract signing and before the notice to proceed, the NTP, is issued.
So the sequence is
Yeah.
NOA first.
Yep.
Then you submit the bond. And only then do you get the contract signed and the go-ahead, the NTP.
You got a NOA, bond tax contract, and NTP. It locks you in before the final paperwork.
Right, like a security deposit, almost. Now, who sets the deadline? Our source mentions the Commission on Audit, COA.
Yeah, COA often sets a kind of general benchmark, typically 10 days. It's a guideline people often refer to.
Okay, 10 days. Seems straightforward.
Well, here's where it gets interesting. While that COA guideline exists, the rules set by the Bids and Awards Committee, the BAC, actually carry more weight in practice.
Oh, why is that? Why does the BAC's timeline override the COA's?
Because the BAC's specific timelines and procedures, including for the bond, are part of their documented process flow.
Oh, okay.
It's often right there in their Citizens Charter, which is, publicly accessible.
I see. So because it's formally part of the BAC's specific bidding process documents.
Exactly. It becomes the binding requirement for that specific procurement. The COA rule is broad. The BAC rule is specific to the bid you're involved in.
Got it. So the real takeaway for you listening is, don't just assume the 10 days. You absolutely have to check the specific BAC's Citizens Charter for that project.
Precisely. Due diligence on the specific BAC guidelines is key.
Okay. Now let's talk consequences. What if a bidder messes up?
Yeah.
They get the NOA, but they fail to submit the bond on time.
Yeah, that's not a good situation. The penalties can be quite severe.
How severe?
Well, two main things can happen. First, the bidder who failed, even if they were the lowest calculated bidder, risks getting blacklisted.
Ouch. Blacklisted. That sounds like it could really hurt their future chances for government work.
Oh, absolutely. It's a major penalty, a significant restriction on future bidding.
Wow. Okay, what's the other potential outcome?
The BAC might also just decide to declare a failure of bidding for the entire project.
A failure of bidding. So
Yeah.
everything just...
Pretty much. It means the whole process might have to start over. Huge waste of time and resources for everyone involved, the procuring entity, and all the other bidders too.
So it's not just a slap on the wrist for the bidder.
Yeah.
It can completely derail the procurement itself. Serious stuff.
Definitely not a minor administrative slip-up.
The source also quickly mentioned Republic Act number 12,009, adding some context. We don't need the full details, but what's the gist?
Right. It basically just adds another layer of legal weight. It reinforces that these procurement obligations, like submitting the bond on time, are serious legal requirements. It's not just procedural. It's baked into the law.
Good to know. Okay, let's quickly recap the essentials.
Sounds good.
First, the bond submission window. It opens after the notice to award, but closes before the contract and notice to proceed.
Check. Post-NOA, pre-contract NTP.
Second, the timeline. While COA might mention 10 days generally, the specific Bids and Awards Committee guidelines in their Citizens Charter are the ones you absolutely must follow.
Correct. DAC rules take precedence for that specific bid.
And finally, the consequences of failing to submit are harsh. Potential blacklisting for the bidder.
And/or the BAC declaring a complete failure of the bidding process.
Got it. Diligence is paramount.
Couldn't say it better myself.
Okay, that brings us to our final thought for you to consider. Given how strict these timelines are and how serious the penalties can be, what does this tension between the general COA guideline and the specific BAC rules really tell us about navigating the Philippine procurement system effectively? How much precision is truly needed? Something to think about.